Imagine a world alive with color and motion. Butterflies dance, their wings like stained glass. Bees hum a busy tune, their bodies dusted with gold. Hummingbirds hover and sip nectar with needle-like beaks. Pollinators bring life and beauty to our gardens. They paint our landscapes with vibrant hues, essential partners in the intricate web of life. Pollinators are the unsung heroes of our food system. They enable the reproduction of many fruits, vegetables, and nuts. From apples to watermelons, they bring food to our tables. Without them, our diets would lack flavor and diversity. Pollination is a fascinating example of nature's ingenuity. They transfer pollen, enabling fertilization and seed production. This act is essential for countless plant species. Pollinators maintain healthy ecosystems and support biodiversity. Bees are perhaps the most well-known and efficient pollinators, diligently visiting countless flowers in search of nectar and pollen. To create a haven for these buzzing wonders, focus on planting a diversity of flowering plants that bloom throughout the growing season. Bees are particularly attracted to blue, purple, and yellow flowers, so consider planting varieties such as lavender, coneflower, and sunflowers. Native plants are especially beneficial for native bee species, as they have co-evolved over millennia to rely on each other. These plants provide both nectar and pollen, essential food sources for bees. Incorporating native wildflowers, shrubs, and trees into your garden will not only attract bees but also support other native insects and wildlife. When selecting plants for bees, opt for single-flowered varieties over double-flowered cultivars. Double-flowered plants often have reduced pollen and nectar production, making them less attractive to bees. Additionally, avoid using pesticides in your garden, as these chemicals can be harmful to bees and other beneficial insects. Choose organic gardening methods to create a safe and healthy environment for your buzzing friends. Remember, a bee-friendly garden is a thriving garden, full of life and the gentle hum of these industrious pollinators. Butterflies bring an ethereal beauty to any garden, their wings like stained glass fluttering through the air. To attract these winged wonders, create a butterfly paradise filled with nectar-rich flowers in a sunny location. Butterflies are particularly drawn to red, orange, yellow, and pink blooms, so consider planting butterfly weed, zinnias, and cosmos. Remember that butterflies need host plants for their caterpillars as much as they need nectar plants for themselves. Milkweed, for example, is essential for monarch butterfly caterpillars. Adding host plants to your garden ensures that butterflies can complete their entire life cycle in your care. Plant your butterfly garden in a sheltered location, protected from strong winds. Butterflies are delicate creatures and appreciate a calm oasis where they can feed and rest undisturbed. Adding a shallow dish of water filled with pebbles or sand provides a safe place for butterflies to drink and cool off during hot days. With a little planning and care, you can transform your garden into a vibrant butterfly sanctuary. Section 5. Hummingbird Havens Jewels in the Garden Tapestry. Hummingbirds are a joy to behold, their iridescent feathers shimmering as they dart from flower to flower. These tiny aerial acrobats are attracted to bright red tubular flowers that provide a rich source of nectar. To create a haven for hummingbirds, plant a variety of nectar-rich blooms such as trumpet vine, bee balm, and salvia. Hummingbirds are also attracted to movement and sound. Consider adding a small water feature to your garden, such as a fountain or bird bath with a gentle trickle. The sound of moving water will entice these curious creatures. Hanging a hummingbird feeder filled with sugar water is another way to supplement their diet, especially during the spring and fall migration periods. When planting for hummingbirds, create layers of vegetation with varying heights to provide both feeding and perching spots. Hummingbirds need to perch frequently to conserve energy between flights. Avoid using pesticides in your garden, as these chemicals can be harmful to hummingbirds and other beneficial insects. By creating a hummingbird-friendly habitat, you'll be rewarded with the dazzling aerial displays of these tiny feathered jewels. Section 6. Beyond the blooms, providing shelter and nesting sites. Creating a pollinator-friendly garden goes beyond providing food sources. It's essential to create a welcoming habitat where pollinators can find shelter, nest, and raise their young. Leaving areas of bare ground or patches of loose soil provides essential nesting sites for ground-nesting bees, which make up a significant portion of native bee species. Consider incorporating native bunch grasses or creating brush piles in a corner of your garden to provide shelter and overwintering sites for various pollinators. These natural elements add visual interest to your garden while providing essential habitat for these important creatures. Avoid being overly tidy in your garden. Leave some leaf litter and fallen branches undisturbed, as these provide shelter and overwintering sites for many beneficial insects, including pollinators. Resist the urge to remove every weed, as some weeds like dandelions provide important early-season nectar sources for pollinators. By creating a more naturalized garden, you'll be providing essential habitat for a wide range of creatures, contributing to a healthier and more biodiverse ecosystem. Creating a thriving pollinator garden is a rewarding endeavor that requires careful planning and attention to detail. Start by assessing your site conditions, taking note of the amount of sunlight, soil type, and existing vegetation. This information will guide your plant selection and ensure that you choose species that will thrive in your specific location. Choose a variety of plants that bloom throughout the growing season to provide a continuous source of nectar and pollen for pollinators. Aim for a mix of colors, shapes, and bloom times to attract a diversity of pollinators. Group plants together in clusters rather than scattering them throughout the garden. This makes it easier for pollinators to find and access the flowers. Water your garden deeply and less frequently to encourage strong root development, which makes plants more resilient to drought and pests. Avoid overhead watering, as this can dislodge pollen from flowers and make it difficult for pollinators to access. Mulch around your plants with organic matter, such as shredded bark or compost, to retain moisture, suppress weeds, and improve soil fertility. By following these simple tips, you can create a thriving pollinator garden that will bring joy for years to come. Creating a pollinator-friendly garden may seem like a small act, but its impact extends far beyond your backyard. By providing food and habitat for pollinators, you are contributing to the health and resilience of the entire ecosystem. Pollinators play a crucial role in supporting biodiversity, ensuring the reproduction of countless plant species that provide food and shelter for other wildlife. When you create a pollinator garden, you are not just planting flowers, you are planting seeds of change. You are becoming part of a movement to restore and protect these essential creatures. Your garden becomes a beacon of hope for pollinators, a small oasis in a world that is increasingly fragmented and degraded. The decline of pollinators is a global issue with far-reaching consequences, but the solution starts at home, in our own backyards and communities. By making conscious choices to support pollinators, we can collectively make a difference. Talk to your neighbors, friends, and family about the importance of pollinators and encourage them to create their own pollinator gardens. Together, we can create a network of interconnected habitats that will support pollinators for generations to come. For bees, bee balm, or Monarda spp, attracts bumblebees, honeybees, and other native bees with its fragrant, nectar-rich blooms. Lavender, or Lavandula spp, with its aromatic purple flowers, is highly attractive to a variety of bee species. Sunflowers, or Helianthus spp, have large flower heads that provide an abundant source of pollen and nectar for bees. For butterflies, butterfly weed, or Asclepias tuberosa, is a host plant for monarch butterflies, and a nectar source for many other butterfly species. Zinnias, or Zinnias spp, with their long blooming period and vibrant colors, are a favorite among butterflies. Cosmos, or Cosmos spp, with their open flower shape and abundant nectar, attract a variety of butterflies. For hummingbirds, trumpet vine, or Campsis radicans, with its bright orange trumpet-shaped flowers, is a favorite nectar source for hummingbirds. Bee balm, also attractive to hummingbirds, has tubular flowers that are perfectly shaped for hummingbird beaks. Salvia, or Salvia spp, with their long blooming period and rich nectar content, are highly attractive to hummingbirds. The decline of pollinators is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things. It's a call to action, urging us to rethink our relationship with the natural world and take steps to protect the creatures that sustain us. Creating a pollinator-friendly garden is a powerful act of conservation, a way to restore balance to our ecosystems and ensure the survival of these essential creatures. Start small. Plant a few native wildflowers in a pot on your balcony, replace a patch of lawn with a pollinator garden, or advocate for pollinator-friendly practices in your community. Every action, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to join the movement and create a brighter future for pollinators and ourselves. The future of pollinators, and indeed the future of our planet, depends on our collective action. By making conscious choices to support pollinators, we are not just creating gardens, we are cultivating hope, resilience, and a deeper connection to the natural world. Let us all become stewards of these vital creatures, ensuring that future generations can marvel at the beauty of a world ablaze with pollinators.